All right, Romans 15:4. Listen to the book. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Romans 15:4. Listen to the book.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
For whatsoever thing. What that man doing that for? Look, you are not at Coca-Cola. Read that thing right now. You can pick up in him now. Don't start now trying to put that stuff. Why that nigga going to call whatsoever thing? Yeah, Coca-Cola. What happened?
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
Nigga, mess a new mic up, one. That's the truth. Whatsoever things are written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patient comfort of the scripture, might have hope. So in saying that, what are we looking for? Let's look at something. Your Onan, been a while. 6:42. 6:44. They call it John. That's somebody called me and I had to return the phone call. Asked me about when Yahusha talked to the two young men. Well, he was explaining about the two young men, one that pulled out, and talked about how he was not as the publican, was not as the transgressor. How he pulled out 3 times a yom, 3 times a yom, and how the other man said, have mercy on him, a sinner. He said, Yahusha said that man was too holy. I said, I don't know where you picked that up. I don't know where you got that from. Then he want to tie it to me. He said, you don't think that's talking to you? I said, I know it ain't talking to me. But further, you don't even know what you're talking about. I said, he never told the man what told. He asked you who was more justified. I said, I don't know why people waste their time trying to get something put on me. I ain't never holler out no tour. What do you mean? Folks, just slow down. Now, if I was to come up there and start following you, how I keep the Muhadi, I assure you that the last thing you need to be worried about. I'm sure you worry about the wrong thing. How you don't go ahead nobody about following them? You talking about the man talking about I'm too holy. Where you get that from? Like, God, them people hear what they want to hear. They somebody mess them up and make a fool. He never even told the man he was too holy. He was trying to tell the man, he asked you who was more justified. The man asked you who should have mercy on him, have recome on him that he was a transgressor. He never told the other man was holier than the other. He wasn't trying to tell you, he was trying to tell who was more justified. The truth of the matter is people need to come clean. That's right. Like he did, because you got it better than I got it. And you used to try to follow me. That's right. You need to be lean. That's just be honest. You know what I tell folks, you need to be lean. They ain't used to follow nobody. That's right. That's crazy. I'm trying to follow somebody for and I feel like they ain't right. That's crazy. Ain't that right? I'm following. This my Nafash on the line. I'm following somebody. I need somebody who's walking upright and somebody can lead me in the way of Kaid. Let's see what the book said. This is 644. He said he'll be looking for a YouTube, so maybe give him this one. A lot of people, I tell them, some folks, they'll say too much out of their mouth and miss their chances. I mean, that guy Louis came down here that time, kind of beating them. He thought I had forgot what I had said, though. You know how many brought that whole family down here? They moved down. I had forgot what I said. I met with them, too. Right now, they were talking about John. I said, I take the wife and the kid. You was about to tell them? Who? You might tell them? Was you in that just? Then am I lying? Am I lying? I said, I'd take the wife and the kid, but not you. He was like, I told you on my mouth too much. I had to leave him go. Mike ran out, he found out, you ran up there, he just laying in people's houses. You know, just run up there, men staying with people, just meet people, just hug them up, see them first time, go stay with people. I can't do stuff like that. I couldn't do it for me, it'd be Qatar. I can't just see nobody come here in the synagogue one time, then I said, let me just go stay with you somewhere else. I don't know you like that. Yeah, all right, come in, wake up, vibrator land on my neck. I said, I think I'm getting a massage. I don't know you. It's just, man, I don't know you. I just can't see your face, just stay with you. I don't know you. I need to know something about it. What's your practicing? Coming to y'all reenact the Adam and Eve and y'all ain't put the vines on yet. Like Shannon Sharp. That right, no. I don't know nobody. But that's why I come in, I had a teeth folk like that. Listen, y'all don't know, for a lot of folks don't know stuff till I teach it. A lot of stuff folks had known till I come and say it. A lot of stuff people take for granted and say, oh, people are stupid. Really, people ain't stupid. You don't know unless somebody teach you. That's right. Man, you know, I used to go to Four House, you know, we got some food. Man, before you get out, I was already hungry. I'll be at that table. You want something? Not even before saying, I'm on. Then they said, listen, check out, folks. You ain't got that thing. I'm trying to figure out the folk offer. How many of y'all were like that? You went somebody offer you food. Then you learn, you get old like they tell you, say, no, thank you. They had to teach you stuff like that. I ain't learned that for something. My mother over there tightened in the country. They taught you that. Man, we went somewhere, funeral, them folk had food at my aunt and they all look, them folk, listen, it'd be a funeral for my family. Them folk, the church be on cook stuff on. They'll say that look, they say, they be there, no thank you. And everybody already hear everybody, they say, don't eat nothing. Don't eat nothing. Folk, they be like, y'all get something. And the church be on cook the folk. Other folk be here, my family, they be like, we already got food at home. They greet everybody, they be like, thank you. Everybody go home and eat, here go the food right here. I just be trying to figure out, I said, what in the world all this, we could have ate up there. Them folk be like, And them folk be just nice and sweet. They just, don't eat from them. Yep. Country teacher, y'all know about that? Country, lie that just, hold on. So, you from Japan or from America? That man, you can't be doing that. I said, you can't be doing that. That man, the country teacher. That man just, he went to the country. How many of y'all, Kasha done told us? Cause we thought you were, you know more Asian stuff than Jenny do. That man come here, yeah, man, growing up in the country. Now he talking. Growing up in the country was rough. Man, country, where you talk like that? But yeah, but that, he not Jamaican, but that's the truth. See, growing up in the country, them folk, white folk, them folk be clean at church and having that stuff. They won't eat from them. They be heard something or seen them do something. They like, they walk by and say, don't eat it. He was like a spirit. You're like, what? Man, I remember one time I was at Baptist church. Them folks had cooked. They had birth month, and everybody cooked. And all them girls they were cooking, they had cooked. They had birth month. Everybody had tables. And all the birth month cooked. And they were cooking. Them girls telling you get something. I went there. I got on them steps. I got on my knee. I said, Jesus, help me. That bastard left me out there. I prayed over that fool. I was so done sick when I got through. I should have known they called me that tape. Them folks they knew then I was gonna beat somebody too. Them jokes said, you get something. I got out and went. I laid on. I sat on the steps. God, I need Jesus. I needed Jesus. Touch this food. I prayed over that thing. I'm the best son of pride. Get out there. And I should have known that nigga let me went to jail. Don't call him no more. When he let me went to jail, that the second time I was praying. I said, one of these hoes got nothing intent. But I'm home. I want to eat. It look good. I got on my knee, I asked Jesus. When I got through, Jesus said, you know I burnt you before, right? It's coming again. Boy, I was so sick when I got through that thing. I said, that's it, that boy. Because you're supposed to look clean on the outside. To say that, to just letting you know, you don't know people. Yeah. So that's the truth. So they're like when the debauch come, people look righteous on the outside. Till the debauch come, you don't know what people got on the inside. Right. It's things you don't know. And just like even about ourselves. There are things about ourselves that we won't admit and we don't know until we hit the debauch. Because it'll hit certain sensitive areas and it'll touch certain things. You'll say, I ain't never thought about going back there. Yeah. And like some people, how many of y'all wash your navel out? How many of y'all don't wash your navel out? Don't wash it. I don't think nothing about it. I don't bother my neighbor. He said, do it your neighbor. And I want my neighbor watching me. How many of y'all want your neighbor watching you? Watch you. So I don't watch my neighbor. I didn't just say nothing. I think about like going to my neighbor. Because they used to teach me out there. They say, man, you going out, it could start bleeding. You could die or something like that. That's the lie they told me. I just left it alone. Before them told so many lies, I'm still mad at my cousin about that behind the ear stuff. They ain't even using it. But listen, you know what I'm saying? You go in, they be like, man, you get in there because you know that the neighbor get. How many of y'all heard it before? You can go and mess with your neighbor, you can start bleeding to death. Anybody heard that? In the country? Because we ain't gonna be. How should you been in the country that why you ain't never told about it? Every time we ask you stuff, he always talking about ancient Chinese secret. I ain't know their grandma. Where this stuff come from, Hachi? Then the first time we done heard about their grandma. Hachi, we didn't know you had a grandma. Was she an Asian grandmama? She did like an Asian grandmama. When she was younger. That's scary. Was your grandma born over here in Asia? In North Carolina? Somebody look up the service. Say how many Asians live in North Carolina besides Hashi grandmama. But anyway, yeah, that's life. Let's see. Your Ukinan 644. Y'all are off the chain. Ain't know y'all been acting like that while I was gone. Man, one service coming here, y'all a whole culture done growed up in the country. Never knew that. Listen.
No ish can come to me
So that no man can come unto me
except the Abba which hath sent me draw him,
except the Abba which has sent me attract them. Tell him what happened.
and I will rock him up at the last June.
Tell him what happened, son.
It is written in the Nabaim.
See that what happened? It taking attraction for that to happen. That's what he said. It's written in Nabaim. What happened?
And they shall be all taught of Elohim.
See that they shall all be taught of Elohim. Tell them what happened, son.
Every ish therefore
That had done what?
hath heard
And
hath learned of the Abba
do what?
cometh unto me.
That's how it works. Now we're going to try to put that together. Now, what we try to do, we know where we start off at. And that is, whatsoever things are written aforetime, written for our learning, that we through patience come to Scripture might have hope. Now we're starting to look at, it's written in Nabaim that no ish can come unto him except the Abba with send and drawing. And we look at what he's looking for us to do. It's a rock us in the last Yamin. And it's written in Nabaim that all should be taught of Elohim, every ish therefore they had, and learn, come where? All right, that's how we put that together. Because what we got to look at and how we going to understand that. Let's see, Barashit. $38. Let's see, let it work out. Listen. Barashit 38:1. Listen to the book.
And it came to pass at that time.
You bet that bastard. It came to pass at that time. Tell them what happened.
That Yehuda went down from his Akim and turned in to a certain Adulamite whose Shem was Hira. And Yehuda saw there a bath of a certain Canaanite whose Shem was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her, and she conceived and bare a ben, and he called his Shem And she conceived again and bare a ben, and she called his Shem Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a ben, and called his Shem Shelah. And he was at Kizib when she bare him, and Yehuda took
Do me a favor, bastard. Where they back now? Look up lexicon, Hebrew. That's what they'll say, Hebrew. I had to clear this up because these people will go and say that I said that there is Hebrew. There's not Hebrew, it's an invented word. Look at that Adulamite. Adula. I think it means turn aside. Let's see. Lexicon, Hebrew. Listen to the book.
And Yehuda took a Ashah for his firstborn, whose Shem was Tamar. And Yehuda's firstborn, was Rasha in the sight of Yahuwah.
I hear what it was? The firstborn of Yahuwah. What was it again?
He was wicked.
Wicked. So we would use Rasha. Will we use Rasha for wicked? I don't know. Why you shaking your head? Might not be. Or
As far as I know.
you said far as you know what?
Yes, sir. We would use
What?
Rasha for wicked.
We what?
As far as I know.
So why didn't you?
I did the first time.
When I come in with a baseball bat, everybody else does. Except for the bell, isn't it? Isn't that right? How many of y'all think he need a little bat, not a big? How many think he need a good little bat? Good little bat. Gabby, you don't think he need a good little bat? Yeah, at least a strap. Let's see what happened with him. Did y'all find out what happened for us? And what we got, boss? You want to just keep it for yourself? Are we gonna? Oh, okay. Who back there? Who's supposed to help me get the mic on? Jahid? Listen.
Strong's H57.
Hold on. Is that the white man that busted? Go ahead. What is it?
Adulami.
Are you working with the mayor? Are y'all trying to take my ministry down? Strong's H. Adulami. What is, so is this sign?
A justice of the people.
A justice of the people?
Justice of the people.
Justice of the people. Say that Yahoo 11:1. Let me see. Listen to the book. 11. This is they call Isaiah 11:1. Listen to the book.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Rasha, and a branch shall grow out of.
They can be Yasha. Yeah.
Yeah. And a branch shall grow out of his roots,
Tell them what's going to happen.
and the Ruach of Yahuwah shall rest upon him.
What happened?
The Ruach of wisdom and understanding,
Listen.
the Ruach of counsel and might,
What
the
happened?
Ruach of knowledge and of the Yara of Yahuwah,
What happened?
and shall make him of quick understanding
What else?
in the Yara of Yahuwah, and he shall not shafit after the sight of his eyes,
What happened?
neither reprove after the hearing of his ears.
What happened?
But with Sadiq shall he shafit the poor, and reprove the equity for the meek. of the
Equity, I
Rasha.
think, would be just. You said the equity for the meek?
For the meek.
Let's see what equity. Let's look at equity. Go to strong Google. Yeah, Google. Let's see what equity. Or we can look. Let's see what that definition of equity is. So we try to put it together from what we're hearing, from what we learn. Because what's important for us is looking at Yehuda turn aside somewhere. So where he turned aside, so I want to know why. I want to kind of put it together, get an understanding. Then we can look at the lexicon Hebrew of equity. We'll find out what they use for equity. Let's say Strong's Google. Strong's Google equity. What is it?
Number one, the quality of being fair or impartial.
You said do what now?
The quality of being fair or fair and impartial.
Impartial. Okay. That's what we want to do. That makes sense. So, Yahushua told him to judge not after the sight of the eye. He told him to judge with Sadiq. So it makes sense. So it makes sense that Yehuda would have turned aside and went to the place when he broke off from his Hakim, that he'd have went to a place that the place would have been using equity, which means they wanted to judge after the sight of the eye, after the hearing of the ear. They were going to judge, they were going to be impartial. Y'all got it? They were going to do things fairly. That's what we're looking at. So it makes sense when we found Yahushua now, when they found a woman who was caught in the very act of adultery. And what he told him to do? Well, he could have seen the woman. He heard what they said, didn't he? So what did he use? He used equity. He wanted to be fair. He said, let him that without qatar, let them cast the first stone. So you see, and just looking at something that quick, you see how we put together and get a better understanding. Because I got to look at something. Our book was quick to teach you about not turning aside. So when you find Yehuda turning aside, I didn't know, why did he turn aside? Right? I want to know what drove him or what drew him that he went aside. And he left from his Akeem. Well, he turned into a place that used equity and used justice. He lived in a place that didn't reprove after the hearing of the ear or the sight of the eye. They were fair. Well, okay. That makes sense? But see, then when we go to Yeshayahu, we already found writing that always told us about it. That the man was a quick understanding. So Yehuda, it made sense that he was going to a place. He was a quick understanding. He could pick up, he can read that. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on back to what we had. In the 38th chapter of the book of 38th chapter of the book of Bereshit. Where we left off at?
Verse 7.
Damn, I haven't put this together. You say you left off at verse 37 or verse 7?
Verse 7.
Okay, because now we need to look up. Rasha was also looking up, let me just come right, equity, lexicon in Hebrew as they call it.
Yes, sir.
What do we find? What's the word?
Me sure.
You should be sure. We don't want you to be uncertain when you're doing it. He said, me sure. Me too. Listen.
A level, a plane, used as a name of certain districts, concord, straightness, justice, justly.
So that's when we know we'll use him. It's showing you all of the different variation, all the different terminology where it can be used at. So we're not going to use concords. You could use straight, but then what we're going to look at, what we're going to use, what's the other ones he had in there? Justice. So that makes sense. Isn't that right? We look at somebody using judge. That's what people ask for when they go to court. They'll plead. There were two women that came to see Solomon. And the one that talked about when she went to sleep, and the one that woke up and her baby was dead. And they only had the one baby. Well, he didn't reprove. He would have saw the one child and the two ladies, so he didn't judge after the seeing of the eye, did he? Did he judge after the hearing of the ear? So what did he use? Me sure. He said, me sure about this. Isn't that right? He said, take the babe, take the yarlet. He said, now I want you to cut it in half. And give each one. The woman said, no. She said, I'd rather she have it than you cut in half. He said, get a woman her baby. So what did he use? Now, didn't he see him? He had to see the baby, didn't he? The dead baby and the living baby. He had to see both the women and hear both of their sides, right? So what did he use? See how we put this together? Don't it make sense when you got, y'all go to sleep, y'all good, we don't get ready to go, we ain't gonna hold y'all too long, cause y'all good with just kind of it don't make a difference, you understand. Just read and keep going. All these things were important for us when Yahushua would have gained through, that's how much you got, 24, 25, Orion. See, I don't mind putting in the time as long as y'all, if you want to learn. Because I'm, believe it or not, this is what I do for a living. I'm a teacher. And with doing that, and I'm a student, I want to learn as well. I want to comprehend the books. It's certain stuff that I want y'all guys to understand, learn. They didn't just do nothing. Now, this makes a whole different outlook on Yehuda went down and he turned, he went to the. But now when you start to go back and look at the names or the name of the place, it makes sense. Why wouldn't you turn in where equity is? Why wouldn't you come and lodge somewhere where people fail? Hello? Even they told you about, and they didn't use the same word, but similar to when the Benin or Elohim came down, what did they see? When they were fair. And you know what they did? They chose. Isn't that right? Because they were fair. They came down, they seen it, they said, these are fair. There was a look about them, and they chose them. So that's what we're trying to. We're trying to have an appeal about ourselves that where Mr. Yahuwah choose us. He said he has an appeal about himself where you'll choose him. He said no unashamed can come under me except the Abba which sent me drawing. There's got to be an appeal, right? So some had to cause him to leave his king to go down and turn aside to where it was fair, where it was equity, where it was justice, didn't it? Some had to cause him to go, wouldn't it? Why wouldn't he take a shot from somewhere like that? Okay. What we got? Isn't we holding anything else? Oh, 24 Orion. You're speaking a lot of clear English today. What the hell? You had a setback or something? It's the glasses, them American glasses. That's what I'm talking. Them American glasses, I did it to them, man. Go ahead.
Then he said unto them, O fools and slow of lob, to Onan all that the Nabaim have spoken.
Tell them what happened.
Ought not Mashiach to have suffered these things.
To do what?
And to enter into his kabul.
I can't imagine where you start at.
And beginning at Moshe.
See that? And beginning at who?
Moshe.
What happened?
And all the Nabaim.
Tell them what he did.
He expounded unto them.
And where?
All the scriptures.
Tell them what happened, son.
The things concerning himself.
That's what he did. He went through the whole scripture. Which means they'd have looked at how that man had operated and went back over the book and he'd have covered this scenario here. Don't you know they'd have looked at it and said, you know what, that's you. You turn aside right in the way it fell. The people that he came out and he talked to, they went back over the scripture with him. And they said, we supposed it had been him. They did. They talked about how the Rasha Kohanim and all of them had to deliver him up to be put to death. And they said, we trust Elohim and should have been him that should have redeemed Yasharal. Right. And then when they went, if you'd have paid attention, he made a door. He did what? But what happened? They constrained and saying, do what? So why would he go with them? Because they had to been fair. I can see y'all some fair people. I went back over the scripture. Y'all fair people. I'll come in with you. It may say that what Yehuda did. Yep. Left him as our king, he turned aside and went to the people, y'all fell. Yeah. Then they sat down and they listened, they heard, they said, did not our law burn within us while he did what? And opened to us what? That's why I came in, you fell. Yeah. Hello? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I try to tell all the time, listen, y'all gonna mess around here, y'all gonna wait till the old man out of here, y'all gonna miss a lot of stuff. Yeah. Listen. Too long we have gone through without understanding, and it's going to hurt you. When he told you about this rod, he won't call the stem from Yasha. He tried to tell, he said, I got to make him a quick understanding. Y'all can't keep procrastinating to come to understanding. That book says you would doubt you were the death. Yep. I try to break that down, make it as simplistic as possible, because I want you to understand that nothing just happened. There was no special or no outside occurrences. Everything occurred the way he already intended. Nobody had a reason until we got to Mr. Yahuwah put the trend. Start going back looking at this and pay attention to what you're looking at. Before we saw it, we didn't see it in the same outlook. But now we're starting to say, why did he turn? I want to know, why did he turn aside? What made him go here? Now I'm finding out because they were fair. It made sense to took a wife, taking a shot from a place like this. It made sense to dwell among people like this. All right, that's how they work out. Come on, finish up what we got. What we left out, 38 and 7, you said?
Yes, sir.
Tell them what happened.
And Yehuda firstborn, was Rasha in the sight of Yahuwah.
What that mean he was? Wicked. Let's look at Er. I think it's Onan Yard Rosh. That's how they would spell it. Er. Lexicon, they call it Hebrew. Do y'all want to understand? Y'all just want to read through? Because we can do that too. We can just read through and let it go. It is nothing but your nefash on the line. I guarantee that I understand it. It's too important to us, it's too imperative for us not to understand it. It don't make sense for y'all to come here and don't get no understanding. Because all you're doing is going in circles. That's what we've done for years. Mr. Yahuwah kept us in Bamaba for a reason, but now he done told us, turn and take your journey. You've been in this way too long. Yeah. Y'all know we was in the way of Christianity too long. We was in the way of just knowing the name. That was enough. Then you go back to speaking English. We got to get an understanding. That's what they testified in the book of Olive Yehukanan, that they know that the Ben Elohim had come and had given them. That's what he looked, because he made them a quick understanding. Yeah. Then opened he their understanding. For what reason? See, they already gave us reference before they told us. He said, the writer already told him, y'all told him he opened the understanding, might understand the scripture. Don't you want him to open your understanding so you can understand the scripture? Don't you not long you preach, you've been how many times you look at what you taught and then you come look at no understanding? Right. But it seems as though you know. Right. A lot of y'all people don't realize what Mr. Elohim had done for us, what you had done for us. Y'all don't realize there's been a barak for us. Yes, sir. Yes, we walk around blessed. Yeah. In that mess. It's been nothing but a mess. Yep. But the fact he coming there and allowing us to come. I remember, man, years ago, somebody gave me one of them strong. I strongly put that thing to the side. I said, man, listen, I said, I can prove him out with this one book right here. That's just how absent mind I was. That's just how little understanding I had. I looked at his work behind it. But then he, like he said, you can't do it unless I attract you. Yeah. There's some people that go through and people got the book, no more than I do. Yep. That been shoot, man, I read this, I told you, you give me the word, I can show you where it goes. Yeah. You get through, you throw it, I go get it. Yeah. Isn't that right? It don't make no difference which way. Which is easy. They throw it, I go get it. Because once we get it, I know where to put it at. Yep. Isn't that right? And it got to make sense. I was talking to Bryce today. I knew he was a little confused. I had to speak to him like a man. Isn't that right? That's right. Let him know first to get the red car out of his eye so he can see clearly, go get the key out of his key eye. I said, I was speaking to him at 5C. He understand everything as a man. He worked with cars. So I got that from John. We bounced. Where John said, John, that thing was bouncing. Isn't that right? Like he told Dave. He told Dave first get the sawdust. He told him to get the 2x4 out of his eye so he can see clearly get the sawdust out of his eye. Isn't that right? That's how it works. So you got to speak with things. He said, Dave understand me. Dave said, I understand. Man, we were dying. Like, we did. Dave come fight. Dave said, he said, preacher, he worked with pallets. He understand. I said, all right, you say understand. Dave say understood it. So you got to speak to people's senses.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Listen to the book.
And Yahuwah slew him.
Oh, stop. What I had you looking at,
Correct.
What you finna say?
Get ready to say the words that you're asking for, sir.
All right, let me say.
Air is two spellings.
What you supposed to say? Strong, yeah, good. Now don't I see? No, go ahead. It's two spelling. Is it yard, Rosh, yard, Rosh?
No, the first spelling is Un and Rosh,
Yeah, Rosh.
which comes from the other one is Un, U, and Rosh.
Okay. So Rosh, but they'll pronounce it same as
Air.
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 I think he'll pronounce it He'll pronounce it the same. Play how he sound. See what he say. Air.
Strong's H5782.
Bossy, let him do it.
Forward.
I'm messing with him. Bossy, I sound like that man. He taking a breather? What wrong with your man, Bossy?
Strong's H5782. Forward.
Ord. Please get rid of your man. Your man lost it. That man said ord. How you pronounce it, Boston? How you say it?
It's two different spellings.
Two different spellings. Let me hear the other one. He got another one.
Yep.
Let me hear your other man. The other one beside that one.
Strong's H6147.
61.
Air.
Air. Is that the one he got yard, Rosh, or Rosh?
Rosh.
Rosh. Air. And what did he say air was? Awake?
Watchful. One is watchful and the other one is awake.
Awake. That makes sense? Like I spelled it. What you think? Go back to Asia. They know that that's English, man. That's what I got. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happened. Now we can look at, so this is Watchful. Kabakuk too. Kabakuk. They call Habakkuk. Let's get 2 and 1. They call it Habakkuk, then we'll come back to Ephesians 5:14. We got to see what's fitting. Listen.
I will stand upon my watch.
See that? He said, I will stand upon my watch. Because he said the name was watchful, right? Watchful or wait. Let's see.
And set me upon the tower.
And set me upon the tower.
And will watch to see what he will say unto me.
And?
What I shall answer when I am reproved.
And what did he tell him?
And Yahuwah answered me and said, write the kazun.
And do what?
Make it plain upon tables.
For what reason?
That he may run that readeth it.
Tell him why.
For the kazun is yet for an appointed time.
For what's going to happen?
But at the end it shall speak and not lie.
That's good. Let's see Ephesians 5:14. Ephesians 5:14. Listen to the book.
Wherefore he saith,
Wherefore he did what?
saith,
What did he say?
awake, thou that sleepest,
And do what?
Zarok from the moot,
And do what?
and Mashiach shall give thee our.
What you want me to do?
See then that ye walk circumspectly.
What is circumspect? I'm willing to take risks. Not as who?
fools,
But doing what?
but as wise,
But doing what?
redeeming the time,
Tell them why.
because the Yamim are Rasha.
That's what we found out by Aaron. He was Rasha. He was wicked. But see, had he awake and did what he was supposed to do, the Mashiach or Yahuwah would have given him A'ur. See, what he wound up doing is walking as a fool. He didn't walk as wise. Y'all hear me? That's what we're looking at. Now, which one we're going to use? Watchful or awake? Because he was standing upon his watch, he'd have been sitting by to look to see what he was going to answer when he was reproved. Right. But that didn't happen for him. Right. Hello? Yeah. So you look at the name awake, it'll make sense. So when he was awake, he was supposed to be making sure that he walked circumspect, unwilling to take risks. Right. So now you look at this. Once you've been enlightened, once you've been instructed on what is Ketah and what is the Torah, are you willing to take risks? Oh, a lot of you guys don't do that. Don't play like y'all not. You are willing to take risks. So then you walk as a fool. You're not walking as wise because you're not trying to redeem the time. Right? To redeem what we say to get back the value. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are not trying to do that. Mm-hmm. So that's the difference of when you have a name, that's how important. Even, was it the 26th chapter of the book of Marshall Lee? They said a good name was rather be chosen. Or 22? 22? A good name would rather be chosen. So you don't think that was a good name to be told awake? And it makes sense to take a ride from the dead because sleep is the same equivalent as death. Yeah. And the Mashiach was going to give you what? Or see then that you walk unwilling to take risk. Not as a who. So how did Earl walk? So now we can find out, now you can start seeing what the problem is. He wasn't walking circumspect. So now when you start looking at things happening to you, the same gentleman called me and he told me that he has a handicap disability. He said, would you say Mr. Yahuwah caused that? He said, because I was smoking. I wasn't born like I was smoking weed. I said, oh yeah. I said, Mr. Yahuwah told Mushah he did all these things. And then you call me trying to talk to me about committing sin. Now you mess around and never get up. It's just a matter of the folks just sitting around and looking and they start trying to find an excuse. Listen, I should have surely been crippled or been somewhere in a handicapped state or a vegetative state simply because of all the things I've done. For whatever reason, Mr. Yahuwah saw fit to get recalmed. That's why you have to really be considerate. A lot of y'all here, you ain't considerate until Mr. Yahuwah put you somewhere and things are not in your control and you fall in somebody else's hands. I was looking back on my phone. I posted a picture. I don't know if I sent it out to you guys, where a sheriff deputy had jumped on a quadriplegic child. Did y'all see that story? I meant to send it out there. I posted it on Twitter. Quadriplegic. That means the man got no arms, no legs, and what happened, the boy was 15, and he knocked over a bin because his family dropped him off in a center. They could no longer take him at 15. He was dropped off and left. I wonder why he knocked that bin over. For the police to grab him and throw him on the ground and wrestle him to the ground and put his hand in his neck. That bastard ought to be put in prison. Why y'all think the boy knocked the bin off? To get out. No, that ain't why. He probably trying to be difficult. Probably want to be a gang member. Any fool couldn't tell the boy will hurt you 15. How many of y'all been 15 before? What you do if your parents just dropped you off at a center because they can't take care of you no more and you don't have no arms and no legs? Devastated. Devastated. But that's the hand that Mr. Yahuwah dealt them. Yep. Mr. Yahuwah, you ever played spades before you ain't have nothing? Mm-hmm. That's his. You know what I mean? He was deal the cards. You still got to play the game. You can't. Years ago we used to play spades. You ain't have no spades. You think this ain't got no spades. Throw it in. You know, I remember that. If you had at least 2 spades, then you said throw them in. Don't read. They said, listen, man, that's the hand you got dealt. And that's good. That's equivalent. Like, who in here had any control over you being born without hands or legs? And your parent turning you over, dropping you off at some center because they couldn't take care of you no more. That thing know he on the ground with a policeman, elbow in his neck. You really feel like a man? The boy is a quadriplegic. Common sense don't tell you he just got dropped out, he hurt. There was a better way to deal with him, to talk to him and use some common sense, looking at, man, this could be me or my son. Yeah. But what you doing, you're a dirty bastard. But you know that go to show you 100? That's just part of that man's life. His life just beginning. 15, he got a lot of years to sit in that chair to consider. But who has anything or deciding factor to change his outcome? That's why I'm grateful to be here. Because things y'all take, a lot of y'all come in here, y'all go to sleep in class, you play around, you have support, have do what you need to do. A lot of y'all need to trade places with that boy. If that boy can get it on his leg, he probably come and be one of my best students. He probably try to get ready to go. That's enough. He said, ain't enough yet. I know it's some more we can get in now. A lot of us here don't consider that's the hand he give you. He would easily take care of him. He was a little baby. But as you start getting big and getting older, folks start looking at you a bird. You're a big old child that need diapers. You ain't no baby no more. I need to drop you out somewhere where they train to help take care of people like you. Who know a place that train to help take care of people that quadriplegic? Anybody know a place where they train people to do that take good care of them? Son, they're not trained to take care of them. They don't train people no nursing home to take care. They don't train them how to do that. They got people that'll work with you. They ain't necessarily trained. They just tolerate and just do it. They got people just do the job. Really, what can I tell you? Just do them like you do anybody else. See, that's how we would think that there are people. It's people trained for that. People that train don't have time. They got to keep it moving. They drop you off on centers. They leave you with people that look at really. That's not their problem. They get paid. It's a job. I get paid to do a job. You'll get no more from me. You will get a whole lot less. So y'all come into a place that's more than a job. A lot of time, the time they put in y'all guy and money put in y'all is way overburdened. It's really more burdensome than anything. It's more time consuming putting in what you got than anything. Y'all do better in places where people don't give a flying flip about you. People that when you done and you out and they just get rid of you and just throw you away somewhere. Oh yeah, just keep living. You'll find it. I try to get y'all to wake up to realize y'all got opportunity, y'all come in and sit down to get an understanding. Don't just keep getting what somebody just tell you. Let's look at it and see if that's what he actually said. It takes time. It's an expense to do what we do for y'all guys. But y'all take it. I watch y'all. You sleep, you play, your days out, but you never sleep when you eat. I set my seat for I see where you have the most energy, most time, and you can run the street, you can do everything you got to do. But for the reason your nefesh ain't important. It don't take but a minute for you to go and somebody cross that line, and that thing you sit in a wheelchair somewhere, and they dropping you off in one of them centers. They putting you here, you sitting out somewhere, you sitting with tools running your body, and you at the mercy of somebody. Everybody here, it's time you to consider. It's time you to consider. Listen, ain't nothing but a wave of his hand, a blink of his eye. If he'll do it to that little 15-year-old boy who had no chance coming to work, had nothing to do with his coming in, his going out, what you think he'll do to you? You already been here committed your kata. You done had opportunity with both your hands and both your legs, both your eyes and all your hearing, and you've been nothing but a worthless sinner, include me. So we ain't in no position to come here and play around. We ain't in every position to try to get it right. What chance the boy got? Lift up your hands with hang down your feeble knees. How you gonna fulfill that? How you gonna fulfill that? Make straight path for your feet. Let that which your lane be turned out of the way, but let it rather be here. How you gonna fulfill that? I will therefore the honesty everywhere lift up Kodash hands. Without how you gonna fulfill that? Y'all just don't know. Mr. Yahuwah get everyone an over benefit. Everyone, we over the benefit. You over the limit. It's some stuff he can't do. It's some stuff he definitely couldn't got in under the Torah. Nope. Got too much evil favor in it. Right. Evil favor. You can't come. How you gonna present your body a living sacrifice and you ain't got no arms, no legs? How you gonna do that? What you gonna tell me? You ain't got no defects? You think somebody with a curved spine curved their own spine? You think somebody with a flat nose went home and just kept pressing their nose down with a brick or a hammer or iron? Mr. Who would give it to them? And then you got to come to the dollar and find out you can't get in. Hello? Yep. One thing y'all ain't going to say, you weren't taught. Don't say you weren't taught. But get what you can do, You can await and arrive from the moot and let the Mashiach give you a'ur. See then that you be willing to walk and not take risk. Not as a fool, but as wise, and you need to be redeeming the time, because the youths are Rasha. And he don't want you to be unwise, but he needs you to, what is it again?
But understand.
You know what? Yahushua give you that. Then open here to understand it. They might understand this. You say, I understand it. I already know I ain't got no time to commit no qatar. It don't even make sense. It don't even go with the name. The man done told me to wait, and now on top of it now, I need to be watchful. I need to be standing on my watch so I can see what shall I answer when I'm reproved. Can you believe you get all that from that? Go to your Christian church and see what they'll tell you. They can't, because they don't know. He'll tell you, deliver the book to him that he learned. He'll tell you, I cannot. It's sealed. The next one going to tell you he not learned. So we get an opportunity to sit down and be taught. That's what the book said, written in Nabin, that they should all be. Now, what part you get? I can't open it because it's sealed. I cannot because I'm not learned. Or you being taught Elohim. So every unashamed that heard and learned, get what you do? Then you'll come to him. Let's see what happens. Come on, finish up what we got over there. What about 38? What verse we left off? 38, 8, 9. Where we at?
Verse 8.
Verse 8. Barashit, they call Genesis. Listen.
And Yehuda said unto Onan, go in unto thy Ak Ashah.
We got to look at name up too. Onan. Listen.
And marry her and raise up seed to thy Ak.
See that? He told him to arise and go in unto the Ashah, thy Ak, and bring in what?
And marry her and raise up seed to thy Ak.
Tell them what Onan is. Lexicon, Hebrew, as they call it.
Onan, strong.
Yes, sir. Strong. Ain't that right? What did he tell him again to do?
And Yehuda said unto Onan,
What did he tell him?
go in unto thy Ak Ashah and marry her
And do what?
and raise up seed to thy Ak.
You know we're gonna do that. Pick me up at 6 and 10, Ephesians. Six and 10. Listen to the book.
Finally, my Akeem,
Father who?
my Akeem,
What you want me to do?
be strong and be
Onan.
done.
What you say?
Be strong and
I
be,
saw Onan. Well,
and in the power of his might.
what you want me to do?
Put on the whole armor of Elohim,
For what reason?
that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of Satan.
For what we're doing?
For we wrestle not against Basar and Dom,
But what happened? What was
against principalities,
But against principality. What else?
against powers,
What else?
against Sharim
What else?
of Kashak of this Arat, against Ruach, Rasha, in high places.
That's what we're looking at. Let's look at what he told. At what we said, 38 and verse 8, verse 9, where you left off.
Verse
Verse 9. You just got that mic back. Now keep out that pocket bit, man. Once you get in and get that Cheeto grip on it, we're gonna lose it. I need y'all to give me some clip. I can't. Then we just get that mic back. That man got that thing that pack. I know that man got. You don't keep no can of nothing in your pocket.
No, sir.
You never kept no can of nothing in your pocket.
In times past, I'm sure.
I know you have for the day. You that man got no old Cheeto cornflake grip up in that thing? Some little sneaker juice blade up in that thing? Little chocolate thunder from down under now? That thing made around get on that mic, I'm done. Warranty over with. Let's see what happened. Listen.
And Onan knew that the seed should not be his.
See that? He knew that the seed should not be his, Leon. So what happened?
And it came to pass
Then what happened?
when he went in unto his Ak Ashah
What happened?
that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his Ak.
What was it? His what now? His brother? Okay. So let me ask you a question. So was he Ruach? He was what? What was he wrestling against? But the book just told us that's not what we were fighting. See, he was supposed to be strong. He wasn't supposed to make it fight. That's why he put it on the ground. His name was strong. That's what Shaul said, find him, my key. He told you to be strong in the Mashiach. Told you to put on the whole armor so you be able to stand. Because we're not wrestling against flesh and blood. See, he put it on the ground because he didn't want to bring up nothing to his ark, which is flesh. See, we're wrestling against Ruach wickedness in high places. Hello? Because now we start looking at laws being broken. Laws don't come from man. Laws come from Elohim. Yeah. Give me 71 right quick. Or the book of 71. Or the book of 1 Corinthians. I'll try to get out y'all way. My wife, my family don't want me to kill myself up in the spirit. Y'all ain't gonna take it. They look at y'all can just save me. That man out of there, y'all gonna see. They gonna get tight. Y'all gonna find out get tight. I'm gonna get tight on y'all. I definitely don't feel like I'm the only person who can do my job now. I'm trying to make sure I set a pathway to make sure y'all get this and make sure you get it right. Ain't gonna be here forever now. That time gonna come, y'all gonna see. Listen to the book.
Now, concerning the things whereof
Romans 7:1. All right, 7:1. He want to know now concerning the thing where you wrote unto me how it's good too for a each not to touch a shah. Nevertheless, to avoid zanu. He wanted every man have his own. Isn't that right? Every woman have her own husband. They're going to be tight when you have all these multiple wives. I hear some of our king looking at that, saying, man, that thing get old up. How do our king get all these wives? I said, they just get that one. We'll work for them. That work for them. I'm trying to run for. One time we get these suits for the choir. Had a big old fat joint there. He said, he said, you take this suit. That man he said, man, take this in. This is going to be way too big, man. Said, stuff, man. He said, man, I'm telling you. He said, let's just get this suit paid for. He said, when the time you come and get it, he said, we'll take it in then. That man said, I'm not taking no material now. You ain't even paid for this suit. You know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying, man? Let me tell you, I'm going to be way too little for that. Man said, calm down. Man, they're like, slow down. He said, just pay for the suit. We were putting out, he was letting put out like $20. He thought he gonna have that man take. That man said, I'm not gonna take it. We had one little dude about that tall, little butter. He about that wide. He said, man, it's a good deal too. He said, man, get this suit for $99. He said, oh. He said, man, I can't get that much material away for no $99. He said, you told us $99. He said, listen. He said, man, listen, no. He said, not him. That joke was cruel, boy. He said, dude about that tall, man, he about that. He said, man, I can't get whatever my material for no $99. He's like, boy, he's like, no. He's like, man, his suit gonna cost more. Man, everybody said I was just having my $99. I'll have my own $99. They told me, no, I'm not getting that man that suit for no $99. It ain't nowhere in the world. That's way too much material. So that's what we're looking at. It gotta make sense. Listen to the book.
Know ye not, Akeem, for I speak to them that know the Torah.
The Torah, how that what now?
The Torah hath dominion over a ish.
How long?
As long as he liveth.
See that? That's what he told him. He told you to do it. It's got rule over a shah, on a sheen, as long as he lived. So that's what we start looking at him. So these Torah, the instruction we got, they can't be broken. So what happened was things didn't change. He just kind of came to give us an out. Now, when we found Onan, who was supposed to be strong, who didn't want to bring up seed to his brother, he knew it wouldn't be his. He wasn't wrestling against none of Ruach. He was looking at stuff from the flesh, and that's how a lot of us wound up making out. We talked about before how Yahusha told a judge not at the appearing of the eye. He told the judge to be judgment, because that's how a lot of them made decisions about him. It was based on the flesh. And that's not what you fight against. And we fight against stuff way higher than what you're thinking. I talked about on the show with on two mics in my mind, how a lot of times people, y'all know how it works. So anyway, that's what a lot of people don't do and don't consider. All these different entities, all these government worship some deity. There's not a government that don't have a deity they worship. They might not tell you about these people do homage to a deity. These people walk into a city, walk into the country. You got to swear on these Bibles. You take an oath. You don't join none of these. They don't have an organization. You don't get in. You don't swear some allegiance. You don't say some bad word of code. They don't have it. Even with games, you gonna blood in. You gonna swear in, get jumped in. Or you gonna run out. You gonna do some shooting or some robbing to get in. Everybody got rituals because that's part of what their sets are. So a lot of times we sit around, we don't realize you wrestling against a stuff way higher than what you fighting with that you see with your natural eye. And that's what he was trying to get him to realize. He said he named it that for a reason. I need you to go in and bring seed up. Ain't that right? I named you to be strong. You're supposed to be strong enough to handle it, but you done got yourself caught up on flesh and blood. And that's not what you're wrestling with. Y'all got it? So now we start looking at these boys from a whole different direction. Whatsoever things are written aforetime, what was it written for? For our learning, that we through patience come to the scripture. Meaning you can have a good name and still come up and be no done good. How many times, y'all, let me tell you something. Several of y'all in here, you are failures. And you are failures simply because you have made your plight or your fight about somebody else. Oh yeah, a lot of y'all failures. Simply because of that. How did that Jesse in my fight? Because I seen Jesse do something one time. Jesse, whatever I seen you do that got mouth, it's something beating you that caused that to come in. Ignore Jesse and deal with what's really going on. That's how it works. Hold on, let me be clear. I'm going to slap you at the service. I'm going to be real clear. How many of y'all heard what I said? Did y'all hear me say I have a personal problem with Jesse? But I said, I was using it for example, only because I just looked at you. I don't want you, so I just get, I can use you. I see, come on. Preacher. Did you say you had it with Nana? But I had to clear up with some of y'all. But the human, that's because sometimes that's how people process. Not seeing yet. But the thing becomes, some people, if I use you for example, some people go and say, that don't happen for no reason. He used me. It's something. I can't sleep now. Some people do that. It's some people. You'll say something. It be folks be like, man, he ain't said that for no reason. That be it. I was on the phone one night, and I said something on that phone. I woke up, they were still on the phone. They said, man, we got it for. They like, man, I ain't been hanging on the phone. I'm like, well, they said, preacher. They said, man, they said you had said something like we weren't getting up, but what I said?
I think you told Hayward something about tomorrow he won't wake up.
Oh, I said something about, I must say, hey, you ain't gonna wake up tomorrow. Them jokes. No, I was asleep though. No, them jokes. I woke up and they were touching said, man, you ever put this out? Oh, man. They ain't know what to hand the phone. They were like, oh, good, we got this phone. Like, a harsh and I was like, well, they said, did you? I was like, no, I fell asleep. Well, they said, man, you lost it. They said, man, somebody ain't gonna wake up in the morning. They said, man, I'm out of here. Well, I had fell asleep. It wasn't like I pronounced it, but listen, they were like, oh, goodness. They hung that phone up, boy. That was it. They were nothing. They didn't want to hit this. Something like, nah, I ain't got no phone. I don't want them to be holding the phone. They were like, yeah. I said, hello. They're like, yeah. They're like, the other one hung up the phone. Justin hung up the one day. I said, Justin, I'll see you in the mail. Cool. I hung it and hung out. I text Justin to be in the mail. Cool. But then they were like, I was on the phone too. They were like, man, you tricked. You said hang on. You told her. That's all right. A hard shalom my key. Like that. So they started doing, look at their phone and see that time was still going. I said, a hard shalom my key. I said, they said, yeah. They're like, no, we ain't missing out on the mail crew this time. They're like, I see that time on that phone. They hung up. They're like, I ain't got a little phone. But you know, we have problems. They look at people and all doing plans. If it's something give me an opportunity to get in, I'll wait for it. Yeah. Now here it was, their father gave them names for a reason. Son, your name means for you to wait and arise from the move. And the Mashiach gonna give you our or. See there that you walked not willing to take with, but your name was there and it should have included you or should have incited you, but yet you still wound up being stupid. You still walk like a fool. Now I name your Aki under your ark under you, I name him to be strong. Now when your ark fell, I told you go in there and bring up seed. But you sat here and start making your plight in your fight against flesh. That's not what we fighting, son. We fighting against principalities. We fighting against darkness or this arise. That's all I'm trying to. Does it make sense to y'all? Yes, sir. How you can see where you can, people thinking, that's how people do, I'm going to name my baby something out the Bible. Your child still going to be an idiot. And your child, if your child on the name, I was told that. I was so mad, Mama. I heard a lady say, she said, if you name your child something, a name out the Bible, they going to heaven. And Henry went and I said, boy, what were they thinking? That was because I was there sitting. I heard, how many of y'all heard that? If your name was in the Bible, come folk look at it, he would tell how their name was written, or so people looked at it. That showed you that people had some understanding about the register. That your name need to be written. So y'all look at here, ain't in there. So I was sitting here, why they couldn't get me something out the Bible so I can go? Yeah. That thing hurted me. That lady didn't know me when she said it, but that thing stole me. I let my name went out the Bible. Goodness, but I'm like, I'm gonna be kept out. But showing you we had some understanding about the register. So now we start looking at you. Here go both their names in the book, but they ain't going. So now we know that not Yehuda was in there too, didn't it? I'm telling you, Yehuda is scary. He ain't going. So you can see where your name in is not in any value unless you have an understanding. Unless you start walking to the capability. The name has it needs some capability to go with the name. Awake, then you got to be conscious. The name is about being conscious, right? Being conscious of things around you. Being conscious of your surrounding. Being conscious of your behavior. So he missed that. Watchful. If he'd been watchful, he'd have been mindful. Right? Concerning what he'd been taught and what he'd already seen. Then we got another brother who's supposed to be strong. Yeah, he made a pretty weak decision right there. Because he was worried about his IQ. Worried about somebody else getting ahead of him. Worried about him not getting his reward. All I want us to do is make sure we get it right. That's all. All we got to do is get it right. That's all we got to do. We ain't on nobody else's timetable, nobody else's schedule. We ain't trying to measure up to nobody else's standard other than what Mr. Yehuda said. We're reading, and all we're trying to do is understand what happened. You can read all you want about Yehuda, his son. I assure you these people been reading don't know what they've been looking at. Y'all getting a perfect opportunity. Boss, you agree? Is it making sense what we're talking about? Do y'all understand it making sense? Go take that to the back and say, tell me what happened. They're going to tell you, this is about shooting semen on the ground. This is more about, it's showing you that where these guys' name came in, they failed with behavior. You've been called to Benim Elohim. And you failed in your behavior. You're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to be watchful. You're supposed to be mindful. You're supposed to be awake. It had Benim Elohim. Let's see what happened. 38th chapter. Finish this up.
And the thing which
I'm saying 38. What verse was it? 11, 12?
Verse 10.
Verse 10. Listen what happened.
And the thing which he did.
And the thing which he did.
Displeased Yahuwah.
Why did it displease Yahuwah when he's looking at fighting flesh and blood? He was worried about flesh and blood. Why did it please Mr. Yahuwah? Because remember, you got 10 commandments, Amar. 5 for Elohim, 5 for men. Why Mr. Yahuwah displeased? Did he say he didn't want to please Mr. Yahuwah? Did he say, I know this is going to hurt Mr. Yahuwah? He looked at, I don't want to bring up nothing to my ark. I don't want this to be no benefit to my ark. That's all he was looking at. I want to go and put it all this labor and it come up in my name and I don't be named among it. It ain't something that count to my tool, my good. That's all he was looking at. He was doing what any kind of person would do, right? Yeah. But yet we found out that the thing displeased who?
Yahuwah.
That's all I'm trying to get people to see. So now, when we start looking at Romans 7:1, called Shaul, who they call Paul, told our king, he said, I speak to them that know the who?
The Torah.
The Torah. How that the Torah had dominion what?
Over Eish.
As long as he what?
As he kind.
But was Onan dead? He was living. So that was Torah that struck. Mr. Hood came along and gave us a way out on that though. How did they give it to a bastard? That guy said, well, you'll get it. You'll get it, though. When he came along, he told you that if a man didn't want to bring up seed as our key, he could do that. But she had to come and spit in his face and loose his sandals. See, because that was going to happen to Yahusha. Yahusha, he wasn't taking y'all bastards. He wasn't taking y'all. He just like, oh, no, he said, you stupid. Pick me up at 28:19. Let's see what he said, 28:18, Matthew. Zach shaking his head. What did he say, Zach? Y'all heard that? All right, 28:18. He said the one to do what? Say it again, Zach. Say what? I mean, you said he killed somebody by the... Oh, let's see what happened. Listen.
And Yahusha came and spake unto them, saying, All power is given unto me in Shamayim and Arise.
So what did he just tell y'all? What he just told you, he was strong. What did you do? If I just got all the power, I just told you I was strong. Onan. Hello? Come on. Goodness. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Goodness. And he is right. He got that because his Ruach done taught him that, didn't it? Yep. That's right. And the 20, picked up at 19. Let's see how that worked out since he used that. I'll take and show you how to know where that worked. 28, 1928 of the book of Onan. They call it John. I ain't got that much longer I can be up here. I don't want Smitty mad with me. Listen to the book.
After this,
Listen what happened.
Yahusha, knowing that all things were now accomplished,
Tell him what he did.
that the scripture might be fulfilled, that
Tell him
saith,
what did he say?
I thirst.
Tell him what happened.
Now there was set a vessel full of vinegar, and they filled a sponge with vinegar, and put it upon hyssop, and put it to his mouth. When Yahusha therefore had received the vinegar,
Tell him what he did.
he said, It is finished.
What tell him?
And he bowed his head and gave up the Ruach. The Yahudim, therefore, because it was the preparation that the bodies should not remain upon the tooth on the Shabbat Yom, for that Shabbat Yom was a Shabbatun, besought Pilate that their legs might be broken, and that they might take away, and that they might be taken away.
Listen.
Then came the
That ain't the
soldiers.
heat, is it?
Hopefully.
Well, hopefully. What do you want hopefully? For what? You ain't gonna freeze. Goodness. Yeah. Turn it down a little bit. Y'all gotta start wearing 2 pair of drawers or something around here. Yeah, don't be coming here all willy-nilly and use up all that. Come here like Kramer. Yeah, Jerry, I'm out here. I love it every minute of it. Isn't that right? Kramer never want no draw. You probably cold. Listen.
Then came the soldiers and brake the legs of the first
And what happened?
and of the other,
What
which was
happened?
crucified with him.
Tell them what happened.
But when they came to Yahusha,
And did what?
saw that he was moot already,
Tell them what happened.
they brake not his legs.
But did what?
One of the soldiers with a spear
Did what?
pierced his side,
Then tell them what happened.
and forthwith came there out Dom and Mem.
So that's why he was letting you about the dome come out. He ain't gonna believe it. You have blood actually in the semen. That's what happened. You look at the mem actually will cover the semen, dom, it'll come the urine, all these different things, so it covered him. So what happened, he actually came out and he was actually Onan. So he had to be strong. He just told you all power was given him. So he showed you, I was Onan, even though I spit on the ground. That's why if you look in the scriptures, it told you how they spit in his face. Because he was refusing them. He was refusing them. He was refusing them. Let's show how let me see how he set them up though. Onan 21. 12 and 21. That's how they work out. I'll show them how it works. Onan 21 and 12. I'm sorry, 12 and 21. Vice versa. Listen to the book.
The same came therefore to Philip, which was of Bethsaida of Galilee,
Tell them what happened.
and desired him, saying, Sir, we would see Yahusha.
And what happened.
Philip cometh and telleth Andrew.
And
Again, Andrew and Philip tell Yahusha.
tell them what happened.
And Yahusha answered them, saying, The hour is come,
See that? The time has come.
that the ben of Ish should be kabod.
So that he's going to be glorified. What happened?
Amon, I
Of
say
a
unto
truth
you,
I tell you.
except a corn of wheat,
Except a what now?
a corn of wheat,
Except the grain. Do what?
except a corn of wheat
Do what?
fall into the ground
Where do you think he's going to put his semen at? Tell him what else happened.
and moot,
Tell him what happened.
it abideth alone.
Tell him what happened,
But
son.
if it moot,
But if he moved, tell him what happened.
it bringeth forth much pari.
That's why when he got up, that's why the rest of them got up with him. It was stupid. They'll never caught him. Oh no, he had to be strong.
That's right.
He told him finally be strong. He was supposed to bring up seed. Well, no way to do it. He just told you how to fall into the ground. See, that way you got to know something about time.
Yeah.
Hello? What was y'all thinking was going on? That he wasn't going to do it? He just told you what happened. He said the seed had to fall in the ground. Right?
Yes, sir.
Well, he just put his on the ground. And he told you he had to die. Otherwise, it wasn't going to bring the rest of the party up.
Yeah.
That's why after his Ruach, that's why the rest of them got up.
Yeah.
See, they'd have missed that. They saw it on the ground. They thought they caught him. How many times I tell people you got to be a tracker?
Yeah.
They'll mess up. They'll close the cave right there. Got it. He spilled on the ground. Onan gone. This is what I do for a living. I'm still waiting. And that, hello? That's got to be, I'm watchful. I got to be watchful.
Yeah.
He always got to have a conclusion.
Yeah.
Hello? So you went to sleep when you heard he spilled on the ground? He just told me, he paid attention, he told me the time was going to come. Why was he telling me about a corn of wheat fall on the ground? So I need to pay attention when he's going to put his seed in the ground. Don't you, listen, farmers, husband, what you going to call yourself? Don't you know that a good farmer and people that knows about crop, that's the whole purpose why we got the farm. So y'all pay attention when you put crop down. You pay attention when others start putting their seed down. Because that's going to be prevalent when they're looking for it to come up. Yeah. After when you plant is when you start actually sitting and setting it with the yard. Because now you start looking at seasons. So he was letting them know the time was coming. If he's a husband, look at when I start planting. That's going to be key to when my crop coming up. Okay. Y'all good? Come on, the man was a husbandman. We know that from Barashit. All he done said and put stuff in the ground. He telling you why. I'm trying to get him to. He took the ish in the garden so you can see exactly how stuff work. I want to show you to watch when stuff bloom, when stuff blossom. You need to know this if you're gonna be my being, because that's his trade.
Yeah.
People don't really deal out with Mason. They don't really see stuff. It's about people trade. And what people do about building. Mr. Yahuwah got a trade. That trade will pass down to his Benin. Hello? That's how most trade. If you'll find islanders, you'll find other people, Middle Eastern, you'll find if you ask them people about what they do, you'll very seldom find them be first generation. They might be first generation graduate, but they'll tell you, my family was long line of farmer, herdsmen. We were builders, craftsmen, shoemakers. Different things like that. They'll tell they kept long lines of this stuff. These were trade that were passed down from Ab to Abba to Ben. Well, when Yahusha got, that's why he tried to tell y'all. That's why they looked at things were critical. He said, my Abba working hitherto. He really didn't say nothing wrong. What was his Abba skill set? Let's go with Yahusha. Carpenter. So was Yahusha. So, I mean, everybody, when you go back and look at Shalom, he was a builder. He built Elohim a house. Daud, who was his Abba, he had the same skill set. He said, looking at, I want to build Elohim a house, a bed. But he put it in the law of one to do it. He let him know, you won't build it. I'm going to let your bid build me a bed. Huh? That's what we're trying to do. Just got to get understanding.
Yes, sir.
Hello? It will make sense that let's see. Well, I do it like this for now. That's not the ancient. That's the middle. So we're going to look at the Abba first, strong house, right? Then we're going to look at the Ben, right? Aleph, Beth, Nun. This is going to make sense. So we're going to look at the Abba, which is going to tell us the strong man of the house, right? Then we're going to look at the Ben, Beth, Nun, which is going to tell us that the son is going to continue the house. So it makes sense that he would have told Daud, the Abba, no, and the Ben, yes. Because the Ben, we're going to let the house continue. This is the seed. Continue. Root. Got it? So this is what we look at when you make a son. In any of these other culture, island culture, here it don't make sense. Man come along want all girls here because he just, I don't know what it be. But for most culture, they want a Ben. In the current culture, a Ben is going to get you more, that's going to get you Benin.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
You're trying to get somebody to continue to trade.
That's right.
There have been instances where there have been Banuth, daughters, that had to take the trade, then you got to count them to get the right husband. Right? But you typically look for a Ben, somebody that can let the house continue or the family continue.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes,
So it makes sense to have a Ben. The Abba has to have a Ben in order for this to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Yahushua said, if you continue in my, he had to tell you the nun. He had to tell you the nun. That's the way you're going to continue, perpetual. Right? You can't have a break. Also, we were driving, we were coming, he thought this truck was going to pull out. So he said, bump, bump. I said, you shouldn't have bumped, bump. I said, you should have flashed your light, put your lights on bright, or made a continual long sound. I said, what you did had a break in it. They would have thought that you were bumped, that you were beeping at somebody you knew. If you're trying to get somebody's attention to keep them jump out, you know, I said, like the shofar when it sound. He said, shouldn't be a long black because it would alarm the people. I said, you were trying to alarm somebody because he thought this person might jump out. So he said, bump, bump. I said, no. Bump. And you should have left your brights on. Simply because that long continuous sound would alert them to realize there was something immediate.
Right.
Bump, bump sound like you trying to hit somebody like, yo, holla at you. See what I'm saying? And that joke come right on out. I said, plus that's on my side. All that was important. He said, I was looking there to take that hit. I said, I couldn't have took that hit. I'm like, oh, cool, but that was on my side. So what I'm trying to get y'all to see is we had to get something that they recognize. Continuing, there was no break. So we saw Ben, we know there's no break. Because what will happen, he'll transfer and become the Abba. Which means another Ben has come on the scene. Which means, guess what? The family continue, or the saga continue. That's how important this had to have this. So Elohim having a Ben was only important so we understand how it works. The Ben will be continued. Then we know the name can continue. When a man seen he had a son, he said, so now my name keep going. So it makes sense. He said, I come in my Abba's name. Right? And it's Shem. So it let you know it continued. Who would you typically give your Shem to? To your Ben. Isn't that right? Let them know that the Abba continued. Because he looked at the Abba, look, I'm going to continue through the Ben. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what you look at. That's why you leave everything you got to the Ben. Right? That's how I continue. I'll pass on what I have to the Ben.
Yeah.
No. All right. Come on, finish it. Well, I got your ring, Saki. So we understand this now? So we went from Onan putting it on the ground to Yahushua putting it on the ground to understand he already told me we're going to put it on the ground. That's how he was going to get the other one to Zerah. Right? That's how he was going to get them to Zerah. By him putting the seed on the ground, he realized I got to be strong. See, people miss what happened with Onan. That's why he tell them to search the scripture. In them, he said, you think you have Kai? He said, but they talking about me. They talking about me. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's it. Let's finish up this a little bit more so I can go. 38 seconds, turn them up. Let's let them read. We'll finish this out. Let's see if y'all pick it up. Since we're going that way. 38, what we left out? 38, 11, 12, 13, 10? 10. Boy, your English guy, I might want to wear them glasses. Then he got an English book. Is that a new book? New sure. How many of y'all don't even know Hashikashi no more? That man had a book written in all Asian. Now he got an English Bible. He got American glass and an American grandmama grew up in the country. Gosh, I don't even know you. I found this town. I can't get Anthony. You're a new creature. That man ain't gonna go to college. He said, it's Anthony. Goodness, I done changed up. Hashikashi, we don't call you Hashikashi so long. You know, I said, like Anthony. Hashikashi. Okay then, come on, listen. Listen to the book. 38 and 10. Listen.
And the thing which he did displeased Yahuwah, wherefore he slew him also. Then said Yehuda to Tamar.
He said, slew him also, meaning what? Wow. Killed him also. I killed the first one too for being Rasha. Don't forget what other things are written aforetime was written for our learning. Listen what happened.
Then said Yehuda to Tamar,
What did he say?
Bath in Turah, remain a widow at thy Abba Beth till Shelah my Ben be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he moot also as his Akim did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her Abba Beth. And in process of time, the Bath of Shua, Yehuda Ashah moot, and Yehuda was comforted, and went up unto his sheep shearers to Timnath, he and his friend Hira the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy Abba in Turah goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow garments off from
Hold on
her.
a minute. Are you using in-law Torah for in-law?
Yeah.
Torah is, you calling her daddy in instruction? You know, in-law is just a term that English use. That's not an arbitrary term. You just credit your own instruction. I got a friend, he said in Torah. I said in Torah. I said, man, I said, but you can learn something every day. But I said, you know what? My spidey sense. That's a nigga. This a nigga invent his own stuff. That man said her in Torah. I said in Torah. Is he talking about Ace Ventura? Hold on for a minute. You actually took, you was in the spirit. Cause it no, that man said in Torah. I just knew, I was saying to myself, I gotta look down up in Torah. I said, that's right. Then he said her Torah. I said, her law. Again, law is an English term. Ours is Torah for instructions. That's all the instructions. That's what it actually is. I think people get their mind out of law. Because people like they said laws are made to be, instructions are made to be followed. That's what they knew. They want to know nothing. You couldn't get Abraham, Moshe. None of them would know you talking about, man, the law. They don't know what you're talking about. They know Torah. There was how he was told, how it was given him, see that I do all things after the instructions. I showed you in the mount. So it was instruction. That's what they gave him in the mount, in the heart. I gave you instructions. I didn't give you law. I gave you instructions. And you were ordered to do them. Y'all got it? So they understood the keeping of those instructions, not the fault. We hear laws, you get it for man, them 613, that law, man, that's that thing. Nobody know what you're talking about. People here gave you those are English, Greek, Roman terminology. That has nothing to do with him. He has instruction. Why did he say that this was this woman's, her father of instructions? I have absolutely no idea. But that's what you just told him, her father of instructions. Is that what you willing to go with?
I apologize.
That's what we're here for to help. We have anybody. Now I gotta ask myself, how did Dad and them feel about it? And Dad and Mom. tell Dad, look at me, Dad. Look at me. Listen.
And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open Malkum, which is by Ruach to Timnath, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. Then Yehuda saw her. He thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by Ruach and said, go to, I amar thee, let me come in unto thee, for he knew not that she was his Bath. And she said, what wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me? And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, what pledge shall I give thee? And she said, thy signet and thy bracelets and thy staff that is in thine hand. And he gave it her and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she Ruach and went away and laid by her veil from her and put on the garments of her widowhood.
Listen.
And Yehuda sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Adulamite to receive his pledge from the Ashah hand, but he found her not. Then he asked the Anashim of that Malchum, saying, where is the harlot that was openly by Durak side? And they said, there was no harlot in this Malchum. And he returned to Yehuda and said, I cannot find her. And also the Anashim of that Malchum said that there was no harlot in this Malchum. And Yehuda said, let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I send this kid, and thou hast not found her. And it came to pass about 3 yarak after, that it was told Yehuda, saying, Tamar, thy bath hath played the harlot. And also, behold, she is with Yaled by Zanunim. And Yehuda said, bring her forth, and let her be burnt. When she was brought forth, she sent to her Abba, saying, by the Ish, whose these are, am I with Yaled.
What happened?
And she said, discern I among thee, whose are these, the signet and bracelets and staff.
What happened?
And Yehuda acknowledged them and said, she have been more Sadiq than I.
Why?
Because that I gave her not to Shalah, my Ben, and he knew her again no more.
What did we say Shalah was? Did we look that up? Request or petition? Tight. Ephesians 2. I appreciate that. I do. Ephesians 2 and 10. Listen to the book.
For we are his workmanship, created in Mashiach Yahusha unto 2 works, which Elohim hath before ordained that we should walk in them. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles.
See that? What happened?
In the Basar.
In the flesh.
Who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the Basar.
He said only in your flesh. You're talking about the flesh. What he told we won't wrestle again. He said before you were called that. And he started telling you why. Because we started to state and we started to judge people after the appearance of the eye. If you weren't circumcised, then you were uncircumcised. We look at Gentiles. Something we describe as something to be outside of us. Y'all got it? He said that's what you were before. Which means now 2 questions. 1, well, maybe 2. Were these people circumcised, or was it a transformation through the Ruach? If he said you were before called uncircumcised, then some had to say what? Through transformation of the Ruach. They weren't physically circumcised. He looking at what happened. So what would they fight at? With flesh? Ruach. Why else would they be circumcised? And not the flesh, because they realized they weren't fighting against flesh and blood. They fighting against principality, against rulers. So you look at how they were stated, how they were changed. It wasn't. That's why people do now. They'll make the fight and make the plight about the flesh of being circumcised. But what he started to look at before, he said you were before called uncircumcised by them that were circumcised. So now he's starting to look at the transformation they had made was not because they had done it to the flesh, but because of the Ruach, because of the transformation, through information, through obedience. Now their uncircumcision was counted for circumcision. Now he talked about them that were circumcised, which were by nature, which became a course for us. It was just natural to circumcise a man for us when it came through. So he said it became nature for us. He said, but now, if you go and you commit qatar, then your circumcision is made void. So which means I'll judge you by the appearance and say you Yehudi, and that you keep Torah. But because you broke the Torah, you haven't been circumcised. Hello? Do y'all know what Yahushua was here for? See that 15 and 10 of the book of Romans. I'll try to get out of here. Romans 15 and 10. Listen to the book.
And again he saith, rejoice, ye Gentiles, with his arm. And again, Tahalah, the Adon, all ye Gentiles.
See that? Listen.
And laud him, all ye
Which will be
people.
praise him. Laud him. I don't know where they get that stuff from. That laud, what's that? L-A-U-D?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think that's for praise him. That's probably a Latin phrase, Bostic. Latin Greek phrase. Laud. What'd you say? Oh, I'm positive that's not. I'm sure that's our stuff. Y'all confirming it? We'll never talk like that. No Lord. Whose is it? Greek, Latin? Latin? Oh, Greek. Ricola. What it say? See, that's how they get it to my Lord him. That's how niggas started cooking all this stuff in fatback grease. That's what we thought. You know, every time they cook something, we trying to Lord him. You know, every time they cook, they said, what you want to go? Oh, my Lord. You know, they were looking, they said, they messed us up in the country. They had folks cooking all that fatback grease and stuff. They messed us up with this. They tell me, you tell my mom, grandma, you can't cook that saying, say, baby, Lord in the Bible. This ain't no saying, baby. Ain't that right, baby? They had Lord. Jesus had Lord. Isn't that right? That's how they get us. They mess us up all the time. What is that? What you finna say about it?
Latin.
See that?
Praise highly.
Say it, praise highly. Leave it where it's at. And you'll go to the Christian church, Lord, Lord. They be thinking they middle man. But see, everybody is transferring us off. Yeah. For us to be Tahalah, we'll be praising. That's for, equivalent when they'll say praise him, we say Tahalah. Right. Nobody would know. They can't. You say, oh, that's praise him. What we trying to do, just like when we do this, we talk about this. This writing, that was middle. I didn't want to draw my beautiful ox, the olive head, because people get a lot of, because y'all think you get the rest of get flesh and blood. So I used the middle, simply because it'll show you the two olives. But one we'll find. Actually one here, you could put one on each side. But anyway, this is how they wrote and this is how they comprehended. The stuff we're doing this, we're talking about transliteration. Nobody knew what this was. This is only for pronunciation. Okay? So just like when we come along, we actually learn the wrong to get to the right. Yeah. People, if you look at primary high start out, they went from right to wrong. Now we're going from wrong to right. Which makes sense. Yeah. Everybody else started right and wrong. Yeah. Everybody went right and wrong. Yeah. We'll get a chance to go from wrong right. He realized if you look, it makes just perfectly good sense. Because people start out right and do what? Books say you did run. See that? Who did hinder? They went. So now start us out wrong. So now we can go right. That's just to go right. I mean, it only makes sense. Why did Adam start from wrong? Right. And what happened? Right. So that right. So now what we got to do? Let the people get the wrong, and I transfer them from the wrong. So you hold to the wrong. That's why I say it means, oh, I got it because you wrong. That meant he done heard her opera in Torah. I'm like, in Torah? I said, got me on that one. I said, I got to study. I like, nigga got to come up. I was like, that about to say in Torah. I said, in Torah. I said, check that. Then he met around and said, her Torah. I said, Torah. What? You got to watch part. That's what I'm saying. He went to moving. He had got all shifted going. That's why you got to stay humble. You say I add box or something? I'm going to say this. Everybody y'all want to be readers. Don't get the big head. Everybody, because you came out a couple of things. I went to box, said, he right. I said, okay. He said, So he figure, oh, I can do whatever our nigga want to do. No, you can't in here. No, the nigga you can't. I don't know what he's thinking. We gonna check you. But I said, when were you gonna cut this off though? All you had to do is just look at himself and cut it. How many of y'all thought that what it called Intura? I said, when he said it Intura, he said it so smooth. Abentura. I said, Abentura. I said, that's Abentura. Because I said, hold on a minute. So everybody knew he was wrong the whole time. First time he came in his mouth. I did. He said, Abentura.
Long time.
I said, okay. Then he messed around. He said, Hatura. I said, Hatura, Allah? I saw him from there. But that's when you get too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And got too comfortable. Isn't that right? All right, listen to the book.
And again, Yashayahu saith, there shall be a root of Yashi, and he that shall Zarak to reign over the Gentiles, in him shall the Gentiles trust.
Listen.
Now the Elohim of hope fill you with all Shusha and Shalom and Aman.
Listen.
That ye may abound in hope through the power of the Ruach HaKodesh. And I myself also am persuaded of you, my Akim, that ye also are full of tube, filled with all knowledge, able also to admonish one another. Nevertheless, Akim, I have written the more boldly unto you in some sort, as putting you in lob, because of the con that is given to me of Elohim, that I should be the Sharath of Yahusha HaMashiach to the Gentiles.
See that? He's going to be a minister of Yahusha HaMashiach to the Gentiles. What about it?
Sharath, the Debar of Elohim, that the offering up of the Gentiles might be acceptable, being Kudash by the Ruach HaKodesh.
Listen.
I have, therefore, whereof I may kabud through Yahusha HaMashiach in those things which pertain to Elohim. For I will not dare to speak of any of those things which Mashiach hath not wrought by me to make the
Should back
Gentiles.
up by he was a minister, a shire for the circumcision of the Mount. What verse 1? Verse 8? Oh, I said 10. Let's say 8. I had to watch until he was talking pretty good over there. Verse 8, let me have 7. 15:7. Listen.
Wherefore receive ye one another, as Mashiach also received us to the kabud of Elohim. Now I say that Yahusha HaMashiach
Was a what?
was a Sharath of the circumcision for the Amat of Elohim.
See that? So he came out here, he literally just physically cut the foreskin off? No, he removed it from our lobs. That's what they did. That's why when the people came, when they got it, the book said their eyes were holding, they should not know him. He had to circumcise them. So what did he use? He used the bar. It only made sense. See, when Abraham circumcised, he used a sharp, what was it? That's what he used. So that's the same thing he did. Because who was a rock? Saying Yahuwah. Right? And then come tell y'all at 4 and 12 that this was the bond, what was said at none of you builders. Then the book told you that the bar became flesh. So it only made sense for him to use himself and use the bar. So that's how he cut. That's how he cut away the foreskin. Hello, that's what he used. He used a sharp stone. He used a knife, and that was equivalent to the bar. He told you that the bar was quick and powerful, sharper. So what were they using sharp object for? To cut and to circumcise. So what did Yahusha use? He used the bar to circumcise them. So did he physically cut the foreskin from around their penile area, or did he cut the foreskin from their eyes, the scales? Did he cut the foreskin from their law, which kept them from believing? He called them old fools and slow of law to believe all that had not been spoken. What kept them from believing? They were uncircumcised. It couldn't have been of the flesh, of the basar. So he realized, what were we wrestling against? Where? And right, so which means what was he going to have to do? What was he going to have to do? What was he going to have to do? He's going to have to be strong. That's why God been told y'all all power was given to him. Because if you wrestling against principality, spiritual wickedness in high places, don't you know you got to be strong? Who he learned that from? He would have learned it from Jacob. Jacob wrestled against a Malachite. He wrestled. So was he wrestling with a man? No. He wasn't wrestling with no flesh, but he was wrestling with Ruach. That's right. So what he had to do? He had to be Onan. He had to be strong. Are y'all all right? He even changed his name. He said, "Thou shalt no more be called Jacob." He's going to call you Yasharal. He's going just like a Shah. You were strong. It don't make sense that his name was changed, that he was called Yasharal. They even put on the inscription. That was part of his charges. If he beat him, a lock of Yasharal. So it tell you that he was strong. He knew his battle wasn't with flesh and blood. He said, I'm wrestling against principalities. I'm wrestling against Ruach or Rasha in high places. But that's fine. You read the stories about putting semen on the ground. As far as you're going to get, and that's all you need to go where you're going. Don't make sense. The woman just came here and she just talked to him. Just from what you learned, what did she ask them, my king, to do? Do what? Why would you ask them to judge? Because they were strong because of what? Nutura? Why? They were Dulamite. The Dulamite, they were just people. They didn't judge after no appearance or no eye. Because they just came in and just told her that she had played the harlot. They saw she was pregnant. But when she showed them that, what did they do? They didn't judge out the hearing of the ear. They sat back. She just told them. She said, about a man who's a bees with child. Come on. And what did Yahusha do? What did Yehuda do? He said, see that? She been more just than me. He said, because I didn't give a shit when he was grown. What you think happened when you started you dealing in fair play? Look what y'all picked up from just looking up some words. Look when y'all just looking up some words. Look how much more understanding you got. 4 and 1. Listen to the book, Galatians. Not try to get out of him. You're going to get their money. Listen to the book. Galatians, let them get it. Galatians 4 and 1. Listen to the book.
Now I say
that
the heir, as long as he is a Yalit,
do what?
differeth nothing from an Abad.
But what?
Though he be a done of all.
But what?
But is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Abba.
Listen.
Even so we, when we were Banim, were in bondage under the elements of the Arats. But when the fullness of time was come,
what happened?
Elohim sent forth his being, made of an Ashah, made under the Torah.
To do what?
To redeem them that were under the Torah, that we might receive the adoption of Bani.
That's good. That we might receive the adoption of Bani. Got it? I should have paid attention. He only learned that from the law. That's why I was speaking of that knew the Torah. See, the heir, as long as he was a child, talking about Shelah, he didn't differ from another child. He was under tutors and governor. That's why he wouldn't let her take her. But when the fullness of time was gone, guess what he was going to do? He was supposed to send forth his son, his being that was made of a woman, that were made according to our Torah, which means we had a law on the time that we give away a child, even a male. I knew they were going to miss it. I stuck it up there and ran around the corner. I knew they'd forget about it. So exactly, how did you understand this? He couldn't have been no difference in it that he said he wasn't old enough to give him away. You could take him and make a husband out of him. I'm telling you, he's still a child. He's still under tutors and governors. He was still under authorities until the time appointed. But when the fullness of time was gone, what was he going to do? He was supposed to send forth Shelah, who were made of an Ashah, who were made under the Torah. They were trying to redeem him. That was the whole purpose of it. They would kind of give her another ben so she could have a son. She could have a ben. They were trying to, it was equivalent to trying to show you about redeeming. The whole thing, she didn't get one from the verse. So they were trying to come to redeem her.
That's right.
That's what bad. If you paid attention, I knew Torah, you went through the book of Uriah, you'd have paid attention when they came down all Yashabana. They said that Yahuwah had did what when he gave them the ben? He took away their reproach. They had a reproach on them. So by them becoming pregnant, that took away their reproach. Well, here she was, a married woman. She had that. She looked at that was a reproach on her. That's why it was needful for a Ben to come into her that came from the same lineage, to take her and bring up a seed, so the reproach would come off of her. But what we found out, it wasn't time. So what did we find that Shayla did? At 2, right quick, Ephesians 2:14, 2:10. Can you get that for me, Lee? I gotta go down over there and y'all gonna have to carry me. I thought, oh, they praising the man. They gonna be praising me. Appreciate that. Let's see what it said, 2 and 14. 2 and 10, I gave y'all Ephesians.
Yes, sir.
Did we finish reading that? Ephesians 2, what I put, 2 and 10?
Yes, sir.
All right, 2 and 10, finish reading.
For we are his workmanship,
Well, his workmanship.
created in Mashiach Yahusha
Yeah.
unto two works,
Yeah.
which Elohim hath before ordained that we should walk in them.
Yes.
Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the Basar, who are called uncircumcision
That's how we move. See who we're calling circumcision. Listen.
by that which is called the circumcision in the Basar, made by hand.
See that? He told you the people that condemned you and criticized you were people that had nails by the flesh. These were fleshly people. Listen.
That at that time ye were without Mashiach,
So at that time you didn't have the circumcision of the flesh? At that time you were without the Mashiach, which means their circumcision came in when they received the Mashiach. Not when they received the removing of the foreskin. Now, a lot of y'all got hooked up with these religions and get hooked with religion, go out here and want to grab your penis and cut stuff all off. That's not our teaching. We don't need to check nothing. I take your word for it. But if you don't have the Mashiach, you still uncircumcised, whether you done of the flesh or not. Got it? Yeah. All right, listen.
being aliens from the commonwealth.
See, being alienated, being separated from. Because the only way we're going to get it, when you looked at when people sat down, even when they sat down and they understood it, when people gave Passat, it was only for you and your house. While Abraham had different things, it was for you and your abad, your servants who were bought with your money, people that you own who were under your Torah, under your instructions. Got it? Not people that were just laborers you paid like day laborers, just like today. You'll have people, that's a difference between employees and contractors. Contractors don't get the same benefits as people that's employees. Got it? Because you don't have the same commitment. With employees, you got to worry about workman comp, unemployment, taxes. You got to worry about paying into their retirement. With a contractor, I just give you your money, all that your business. You pay your own taxes, you respond for your own insurance, you respond for all your own benefits. Because you're not mine. Got it? So this is how that's amazing. Today is the same thing. They understood. They had people that worked today that weren't their own, that weren't owned by their money. Because the book said you are bought with a price. How are you supposed to put that together? Because anything you bought, you own, you control. Well, Yahushua said you were bought with a price. Hello? Which means now you looked at, you was on the same, you had the same honorary acts, and you had the same ability, you had the same rituals you had to keep. These were people that were confederate with Abraham. These people made an agreement with Abraham. Okay. All right. Listen. Y'all just stay home tomorrow. And I don't want y'all to kill up all that time, because y'all really look just terrible. I don't know. How y'all been making it going on? When you learn this, how much you don't know? How much you don't know? And how critical is what you don't know to where you going? Because there's got to be a reason. If he went back over the entire scripture with them, how you going to get by with none of it? He went back over the entire book with them. How you going to get by with none of it? And you don't understand nothing. You sleep, you play, you daydream. How you going to make it? You just going to be a good person? You still got people arguing and fighting about the circumcision. They won't find what Yahushua took. No, he ain't take nobody's penis and take no foreskin off nobody. The book, he was a minute. He was a shot for the circumcision. Well, he let her know the circumcision made without hand, because that was fleshly work. What we got is of the Ruach.
Yeah.
That's the thing that got to be removed from here to get a man or woman to obey and to follow. Right. Abraham proved himself before the circumcision of the Basar. Anybody count what Abraham had just to the flesh, you already done lost it. Right. Abraham was already in it before he got it. He got it as a seal to his obedience. Yeah. You getting circumcised does not make you obedient. Right. The book said, as obedient beneath, circumcised, not fashioning yourselves according to your former lust, but that he which is called you Sadiq. Where is Sadak? Is Kodash. So be you Kodash in what? In all the circumcision of the flesh? Behavior. Why? Because it's written. Because it's written. That's all you're supposed to do it, because it's written. All right, come on, fill this up.
That at that time ye were without Mashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Yasharal.
So they think about none think about predator. See, it's in the Bible. That's why I have to give these groups. It's in the Bible. Aliens in the Bible. That's why you can watch them movies. Mess up every time. Listen.
And strangers from the berith of Shaba, having no hope.
See that? Listen.
And without Elohim in the Arats. Mm-hmm. But now in Mashiach Yahusha, ye who sometimes were far off are made nigh by the Dam of Mashiach.
Listen.
For he is our Shalom.
See that? He's our Shalom. Tell them what has happened, son.
Who hath made both one and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
See that? That's what he did. Y'all missed that, didn't it? Y'all missed it? Should have paid attention then, huh? That's amazing. Because when they came down to the two and they found that Yahushua would, when they came down, you do know they took the other two down. Yeah. Those were the middle walls of petition. They took them down. You do know what kept us away from him, right? Qatar. He told you about his ear wasn't heavy, needed his arm short, they could not save. But what happened now? What did they do? So you know what? That means it was a petition. Separated between who? So what we look at him doing? We look at him taking the petition down. That's what you said Shayla was, wasn't it? Petition? That's what she was trying to do. She was trying to petition to get something. That's what she was trying to do. Trying to get something that come and take away her reproach. Why wouldn't you want it? The man's name is petition. So every time when I'm getting ready to try to get something to take away the reproach, something happened. Then I need to put up a petition or put a petition out for something. I need something different to happen for me and keep this blockage. Get me away from around people with such a carnal mindset. People that's not conscious. I need to get with somebody who can tear this thing down for me so I can get nigh to my Elohim. And you've been trying, and you don't realize there's a lot of stuff blocking you. Like y'all got physical, emotional hang-ups. Like y'all got mental hang-ups. Like y'all got economic hang-ups. Most of y'all got relationship hang-ups. That's a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all dysfunctional. Over half of the way of y'all, son of God, dysfunctional. Y'all show some dysfunctionality. That's why you ain't got what you need. If you go through and you were honest and you examine, you will see you have some dysfunctionality that keep you from getting where you need to be. And it has separated between you and your Elohim. So that's what he had to come and do. He's had to tear down the middle wall of petition. That don't make sense till you do it. Listen, you keep believing what you want to believe. I'm telling y'all, the time gonna come. Y'all not gonna get this all the time. The man done told y'all, ain't gonna be a famine. Not gonna be no famine, no bread, no thirst. It's gonna be a hearing. And these people gonna start wandering from one end to the other, seeking it. And they're not gonna be able to find it. That's two.